In episode 14, I speak with culinary nutritionist Trudy E Stone. And as it turns out, the food you eat is crucial for sexual health, from erection strength and sperm motility to a yummy and good quality vagina. Let the adventures begin. Enjoy. My girl, Trudy E Stone. What is a culinary nutritionist?
So basically, I use the therapeutic properties of food to both prevent as well as treat disease. So it's all about food first. So I try to, make people use food first as an approach versus turning to pills and different medications, because food is medicine.
Food is medicine. I love that idea. And I love how you always situate our relationship with food with how we take care of our brains.
Absolutely. Yeah. Your brain is the command control center of your body. It governs everything in your body and tells your body exactly what to do. I know we're talking about this later, but it also helps with your sexual health as well. Wow. So we got to keep that brain in tip-top shape so that we can do everything that we need to do in our lives to keep up with our busy demands and schedules.
What happens for me is that sex is always obviously a very important part of all of our lives, but for me, I've kind of used it as a way to build relationship with a romantic partner. But your book, Unbreakable, 7 rock-solid habits to your perfect weight and a healthier lifestyle, no willpower required. Girl. Listen, when I'm with that guy and I see how fine he is, there is definitely willpower required. There is willpower required. But you talk about habits that you can actually replace opposed to breaking.
Right. Yeah. So I think we go about habits the wrong way. So we decide we want to live healthier, we want to eat healthier. So we go cold turkey, we decide to break the habit. Right. But when you try to break that habit, it just makes you want that thing more, right? So think about the guy in school that your mom told you not to date, right? You dated him anyways. You wanted him even more. You couldn't stop thinking about the guy, right? Exactly. That's how it is with that donut, right? So instead of breaking that bad habit, you have to try to find a way to replace it.
So I might look at a donut, as you were just saying, right, and desire that donut. Right. In the same way that I might look at a man and desire that man. Right. They're still coming, and they're gonna satisfy a primal thing inside of me that says, I want it when I want it, and I want it now. Mm-hmm. And this is how I am, unfortunately, with relationships.
A lot of women are like that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But I think we lie to ourselves that it's a problem. Right. It's an actual problem. And for me, I know people are always like, "You're calling yourself a sex addict," and I'm like, I know you always laugh at me, but it's not like, okay. So first of all, there's different levels of sexual addiction. Right. So it's not always about just the hypersexual, I gotta have that sex kind of addiction. Mm-hmm. Mine is more love and intimacy addiction. Okay. So when I meet someone and there are natural ways that you go through that conversation that may lead to a date, that may lead to hanging out more often, that might lead to a relationship. Mm-hmm. I meet them and I'm like, I'm already at reward. Because your book talks about the trigger, right, the routine, right, and the reward. Exactly. And so that's what I meant by when I'm reading your book, I'm like, okay, the trigger is, that guy is fine. That guy is fine.
There might even be a trigger before you see the guy, right? That makes you want that guy. I don't know. You tell me. What was it that you were feeling, that you were thinking, that you were doing before that trigger, before you saw that guy, that made you have that desire?
100%, because you also in your book talk about how emotional eating can lead you to doing the wrong things. Right. And so my emotional desire to have that love and connection is the trigger before I even see the guy.
Absolutely. So I talk about there's 5 common triggers. I don't know what they are right now at the top of my head. I know there's time, location, and environment, other people, a preceding event. So for me, it sounds like it could be a preceding event for you, and there's emotional state. So it could be emotional state as well, right? So those are the 5 common triggers, and that really drives us to make some of the decisions that we make. Now, I'm not like a sex, therapist or anything like that, or relationship expert. So I have to throw that disclaimer out there, but certainly these have been identified as the top 5 habit triggers that drive our decisions and drive our behaviors.
Right. Well, I really resonated with that. And I think this idea of replacing the habit can help me in my recovery. Because both in my diet and in my addiction to finding the perfect one. Mm-hmm. So in terms of diet though, because once I get the reward of finding that love that I've been looking for, I want to keep him. And
I can help you do that.
you can help me do that because we need him to stay long and strong. You know what I'm saying?
Girl, we need that anaconda to be great.
Exactly. Now, I also read, I don't know where I read this, probably in some notes you gave me about carrots.
Oh, yeah, carrots. So carrots really help with cervical mucus, aka those juices, get those juices flowing, right? So beta carotene helps with the production of cervical mucus as well as the quality of cervical mucus as well.
I've heard my quality is very good. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Well, eat away.
Yeah. Carrots are very important. So, in order to keep my man happy, I want to take care of my own sexual health, but I think to promote an understanding around how foods can help most people in regards to their sexual health. I see we have an array of things here.
Right.
What can I learn from you?
Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is maca. So that's what we see right here. So maca is known as an adaptogen. So adaptogens are herbs or plants that help your body to both adapt to, hence the name, and resist stress. So when I recommend foods to my clients and to people that follow me, I like to recommend foods that have multiple different benefits. So not only is maca helping you to reduce your stress, it's also helping with your sex drive because maca is really helpful for hormonal balance in women.
Okay.
Right? And it's also great for men as well who have that anaconda dysfunction.
Oh.
So it helps to kind of get things going and riled up, right?
Okay.
So this one has probiotics in it as well. Yeah.
What was the significance of the probiotic?
So probiotics are really great for gut health, right? And we now know what's good for the gut is also good for the brain. And that's because the gut and the brain send messages back and forth to each other. So brain sends messages to the gut sends messages to the brain. And we also know that neurotransmitters like serotonin that make us feel really good and happy and in the mood, right? Those are produced in the gut. So eating foods like probiotics helps with that. It also helps with something else later that I'm going to talk about.
I think that my gut is overactive in lots of areas. Just saying.
You got a happy gut. That's a good thing.
I've got a happy gut. Okay, what else do we have?
So we have strawberries. So strawberries and raspberries, actually the seeds in strawberries and raspberries, they contain zinc. And zinc is really important for healthy sex function, both in men and women. Okay. So with men, it helps to produce that testosterone that helps with the quality as well as the quantity of sperm. And speaking of, if you're a man and you're pretty sexually active, you want to have a lot of zinc. Okay. And this is especially if you're trying to, maybe get your partner pregnant as well, because every time you ejaculate, there goes that zinc, right?
Okay. All the jump offs out there have decided to take all strawberries off the plate. They're not trying to get people pregnant. You can still eat a strawberry. You know what I'm saying? It's good for you.
Right. And the raspberries too. And the raspberries are high in fiber too. So fiber really helps also with the gut bacteria, nurturing the gut and helping to eliminate those toxins from the body.
Makes sense.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, this is spirulina.
Oh yeah. So spirulina is a great source of vitamin B12.
It's not just a song that Chronic sings about.
No, it's about much, much more than that.
Okay.
So this is the one I get here. I'm not sponsored by this company or anything like that. This is just the one that I like. It's a nice organic spirulina. So spirulina is a blue-green algae, and it's one of the highest plant-based sources of protein. And it has a lot of great functions for the body. Now, so spirulina is a great source of arginine, which helps with the production of nitric oxide in the body, okay? And that really helps with, producing blood flow throughout the body. And we really want that blood flow to be going because that helps, put the blood flow to our extremities, right? and gets things going. So they really call spirulina, it's like natural Viagra.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not instantaneous.
It's not instantaneous. None of these foods that you see here are instantaneous. These are all foods that you kind of just want to add to your diet. And then you'll see the effects and the benefits of them the more that you eat them and the more that you add them to your diet.
Right. Fixing the habits.
Right. Absolutely. So yeah, it's about getting into the habit of adding these foods into your diet more often. Perfect. So with spirulina, you could put it in a drink like how you see here. Like that's the perfect thing to do with it. Just throw it in a smoothie, tuck it in there. You won't even know that's really in there. You can also make like desserts with it as well. If you want to do like some little little bites and stuff like that, you could do like spirulina, throw some chocolate in there. You could get some nuts and seeds going and you can feed it. Feed it to your guy.
What's with the coffee?
Okay, so there's not a lot of scientific evidence behind this, but we do know that coffee is a stimulant, okay? So it stimulates the brain, which helps to enhance sexual function and helps to heighten arousal.
You had me at stimulate.
So add some coffee to your diet.
I hate coffee. Can I get the same effects from green tea?
Yeah, sure. Green tea is another one as
It's a
well.
stimulant, right?
Yes, it is a stimulant.
Yes. Okay. Phew. I thought I was going to have to start drinking something I don't like.
Okay, what else? Tell me everything.
All right, so avocados. So we all know that avocados are a great source of healthy fats, right? But what I really want to talk about here is that avocados are a great source of folic acid as well as vitamin B6. And both of those nutrients are really important for sex function overall. Okay. And then the healthy fats also help with increasing the blood flow throughout the body. Okay. And again, that's really important. We want a lot of foods in our diet that's going to help with the blood flow because that's really going to help with, a healthy sex drive.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
And then I also wanted to talk about pumpkin seeds because pumpkin seeds are a really great source of zinc as well. I know we talked about zinc with the strawberries, but pumpkin seeds are also a great source of zinc. Cashews we have here, also another great source of zinc as well. So zinc is a really important nutrient for that sexual function.
I would think that you'd have to be careful about, because aren't these kind of gassy? You don't want to be that when you're with your lover.
They can be, but you can soak them. Like if you find that, let's give you some like a gassy feeling, you can just kind of soak them and that would just kind of helps. Yeah, soak them and drain them and that kind of helps to remove some of the harmful compounds that can contribute to that gassy feeling.
Like soak them overnight?
Yeah, soak them overnight. And you can do that with like lentils and beans too. So some of my clients that have IBS or they have, stomach issues whenever they eat beans and lentils, just soaking them overnight helps with that.
Yeah, because I'm sorry, that's a turn off. Not to turn on. Scent is very important to me. How about you?
Oh, it is at the top of the list.
Especially in those areas,
Oh, right. That's what I wanted to talk about. Okay, so you're all about the juices and getting the juices flowing.
Yes, well, we
So-
don't want it to smell.
That's right. So let's talk about that vajayjay and how to make that vajayjay like smell nice, taste nice.
Okay, this is what needs to happen. Because anyone who dates me knows that that's definitely guanin. Okay.
So
The one thing you need to know when it comes to, getting the vaginal juices, like tasting good, getting down there, smelling right, is pH balance. All right. So if your fellow's going down on you, if he's complaining that it's not right down there, your pH balance could be off.
First of all, if anyone went down there and said that something was off, I would be devastated. Hello? Oh my
I think
God.
we all would, right? So it's all about knowing, which foods to avoid. Okay. So the vaginal, like everything down there is like, it's naturally acidic. Okay. So you really want to make sure that you're not eating certain foods that's going to throw off that pH balance. So one thing, the top of the list is smoking. Okay. So if you're smoking, all right.
weed?
I don't know about weed, but I know cigarettes for sure.
cigarettes,
Okay.
okay.
So if your man goes down on you, you might taste like an ashtray.
Ew.
Okay.
Seriously?
I've heard of this before. Okay. These are true stories that I've heard from some of my clients who've complained that, their man has gone down on them and because they smoke, it tastes like kind of like an ashtray down there. So that can happen. Okay. That can happen. There's also some other foods that can throw it off as well. So like nightshade foods. So like those are like tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants, that can throw off the pH balance as well. So you want to stay away from those. So you want to eat foods, like if you want your, vajayjay to kind of taste nice, all right? And again, there's not like a ton of scientific evidence behind this,
You
but
need to zoom in for this
a
part.
lot of people, a lot of women and men swear by this. So these are some of the foods that you can eat to make those juices taste nice, all right?
Sure.
So pineapples, all right?
Yes.
You want to get some kiwi, you want to get some mango, and you want to get some blueberries, okay? Those are all the foods that's really going to help, make the vajayjay taste.
I'm really happy and excited about this because I love all of those fruits.
Right. So not only are you eating healthy and you're fueling your body and you're getting all those nutrients and antioxidants, you're also making things down there nice.
I love it.
There's a lot of people that are going to appreciate everything that you are sharing with us.
I'm happy to share.
But it wouldn't be a cocktail with LA if you didn't share a cocktail.
Oh my God, you're going to make me do this?
I'm totally going to make you do this.
God.
Hello, I'm an open book.
Oh, okay.
Okay, give me one. Just give me one story. It can be before you were married or during your marriage, although I don't know if I want to see Danny in that way.
I know.
Shout out to Danny
know.
I apologize, baby, in advance for the story I'm about to tell. I love you. I love you. So one thing we don't have here is peaches, which I wish we had, right? But so there was a time, you remember that song Peaches and Cream when that
I
song
do.
came out?
I
Okay.
do.
And I'm going to be
With
so
Flo?
embarrassed if this guy's watching this right now. But so the song Peaches and Cream, loved the song, but the video sucked, right? Video didn't really completely depict what was, going on in the song, right? Peaches and Cream.
Right.
So there was this guy I was kind of feeling at the time, and I decided I was going to recreate the scene that should have been in the video.
Oh, shit.
So I'll let you fill in the blanks there, all
Oh,
right?
no.
But but it did involve a lot of peaches and, a side of cream.
Oh my.
Yeah.
And it didn't turn out right?
Oh, it turned out beautifully.
Oh, it
yeah.
did.
It was a great night.
Okay. Okay. So rapid fire question.
And then I met the love of my life and then everything else. Yeah.
And now it's been better than ever since.
Better than ever. Yeah. But those stories are in the vault. I'm not sharing those.
Okay. Fair enough. We don't want to disrespect the Stone Man.
No.
These are the stories that inspire me that I too will have this one day. Right?
Yeah, absolutely
Okay.
will. Definitely will.
So rapid fire questions here.
All right.
What is your favorite cocktail if you're going to spend a nice evening with Mr. Stone?
It depends. Like I have different drinks for the winter and for the summer. Grand Marnier on the rocks.
Grand Marnier on the rocks.
Yes. Especially on like a cold winter day.
Okay.
A little Grand Marnier on the rocks. It just like heats the chest up.
Okay.
Nice,
And so you're with Danny drinking Grand Marnier on the rocks. And what's playing in the background?
Maybe some neo soul.
Ooh,
Yeah.
anyone in particular?
I like Dwelle. Dwelle. Yeah, he's good. Like Jill Scott. She's
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Okay.
Angie Stone. I like Angie Stone. She's not quite neo soul, but Anita Baker is one of my faves.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people like Anita Baker.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And where would you guys be?
We would either be on the couch.
On the couch at your house?
Yeah, the couch at our house, or what else would we be doing? I don't know. Probably on the couch.
On the couch,
Yeah.
and then you just
Talking.
start talking. Yeah, you guys are great communicators.
Yeah, communication is really important in a relationship, because you always want to make sure that you're on the same page and that you're not missing anything.
And you don't seem to impose your expectations on each other.
No.
It's a very supportive and loving relationship, and I love that it's a great example to me that it's possible. I'm not going to ask the question that I ask people on the street, which is what's your favorite position, because I don't want to know.
But would you
You've
say
got a lot
that
of favorite positions. But...
Okay.
Hey, who am I to stop you from sharing what you want to share?
Because right now, Danny's not gonna. Danny's gonna kill me. That's my husband, by the way.
Okay, so shout out to Danny Stone once again. So I just want to know, as my friend, forget this nutritionist stuff, forget all of the culinary stuff. As my friend, you have seen me over and over again trying to articulate and find the love of my life. And you know that it's like super important in my mind. What is your wish for me, and what is your best advice for me?
My best advice for you is to realize how incredible you are, and only pair yourself with a man that's going to be equally as incredible as you are.
That's hard.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
So is it okay to be alone?
It is okay to be alone. Like I was alone before I met my amazing husband. I don't think I would have met him if I didn't spend that time alone. And I do have, friends. I'm not saying this is you, but were friends that I had before in my life that always felt the need to kind of be with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like that myself before I met my husband. And then I just kept meeting the wrong guys, and it just kind of made me feel like crap about myself.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? True, I'm going to take out time just for me, just for myself, to kind of figure out what it is that I want on my own. And that's what I did. I was single for maybe about a year or so before I met the love of my life. And I don't think I would have been in that space to meet him mentally if I didn't spend that time with myself. You're an incredible individual, LA. You just bring so much to people's lives. You just bring so much joy, so much sparkle, so much fun, so much laughter. I feel so fortunate to have someone like you in my life, and I know someone else is going to feel equally as fortunate to have you in their life as well.
Oh, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you for talking to CockTales with LA. Finally, I was able to incorporate your brilliance into the things that I'm doing.
This is so much fun.
This is so much fun, and I'm eating all of this when we're all done
Eat
here.
up those carrots, girl. Eat
Right?
up the carrots.
There's a date tonight. Thank you.